Hi, how's it going? This is my vlog for the 7th of November, Tuesday, 7:48 p.m. I'm like, God damn it, I'm in so much pain right now. What's that? Right here, dude, my back. Ow! It's like the feeling of muscle atrophy. That's what it feels like. But it's like just, it's not this, it's not anything like how you like burning muscle from exercise or sore muscles. This is like interior throbbing muscle pain. Sucks. It has something to do with the work. I guess the work I did yesterday and today. I did bales of hay. I did 160 yesterday and 160 today. Today was easier though. It took half the time because it was closer. I had to haul the other ones far. And I had to pile them up real high, right? So I had to hold them up on my chest, and then I had to do them up above my head like that. And they're like 60 pounds and stuff. My biceps are actually pumped. Ow. They're totally sore, like if I had been to the gym. And my hand, my forearm was starting to. But, oh, dude, I'm so freaking out of shape. Um, like, I'm gonna have to, like, not get any worse physically if I'm gonna keep working on my website like this. Because I'm not anywhere near finishing the website. So yesterday I didn't really do much because I was tired. I came back and I just slept, and then I had an energy drink. I was kind of awake all night, but slept, got my rest. Then I got up this morning, went over this morning at like 9, and then I came home and I think I went to sleep after when I came home. Then I got up and was working, so I haven't really made that much progress since the last time I did the video yesterday. I could show. Yeah, let's not show where I am at. I'll try to, because I would have to zoom out and I'm at a place. But I should show where I am. Do 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 do. So that's all I have to do. I have to do that, and then I have to do these, and then those. And I think yesterday I didn't do that, so then I'm done with that, and then it's numbering them, which will take a long time, like a month. And then it's the law code, and I had an idea about the law code. And I'm glad I had the idea before instead of when it's too late, because it's easier to tie it up all at the same time. Damn, is that like a zit? I think maybe I scratched myself with a hay bale or something. I don't know. So Cenk Uygur wants to be the president, and I was like, but you're not born in America. And he's like, oh no, there was like a previous court case which broke the rules, so that set a precedent. I get to be president. And I'm like, I don't like that idea. In fact, I really like Young Turks is my favorite. He's my number one guy. And when I saw the title, I'm running for president a couple weeks ago, I didn't even watch the video. Because they're going to have to change a part of the Constitution now. Because of that, if he's successful, and or you're going to have to start playing semantics with the Constitution, and I don't think we should do either. I think we should interpret it and then stick to it. The longer laws last, the more solidified the country becomes. The more secure it becomes. Kind of like the older wine gets, the better it is. Same thing with laws in a country. The older the laws are, the better off your country is. The older the culture is, the farther back you can trace your history, the older the famous people are. You're trying to cultivate this complex, growing thing so that everybody can be on the same page, and then put our minds together and go to something together. And so constantly having to reboot, you don't get anywhere. America is the oldest country in the world that way, and everybody else modeled their constitutions after us. So just because of that, I don't think we should change anything. And there's 25 million people who can't be president, but that means that there's the rest of the Americans can. There's plenty of people who can. And also, immigrants. I heard Patrick Bet-David say that immigrants are better than Native people from America like me because they have more hunger. But when I hear about people from third world countries who come here and they make it big and stuff, they're all talking about money. And then I saw somebody followed me on Instagram yesterday. I can't remember the person's name, Imogene something, Esmeralda, whatever. But then they have a link to another Instagram page, who I guess their mentor or whatever, called Cody Sanchez, and she's I guess an immigrant. And I saw like some of her videos, and it's just about money and buying businesses. And so my fear is that somebody from a third world country comes to America and they think America is all about buying businesses, when it's the exact opposite. Third world countries are about buying businesses, consolidating businesses so one guy owns everything. America is about breaking the businesses up so everybody's a business owner and not buying everybody's businesses. And then like getting online and telling everybody how many hundreds of millions of dollars you have. And so that just for that alone, I think that's a great idea, that if you're born here, you have not only the worrying about dual loyalties, to your family and friends back home, that you're going to hook up or do deals with that country, but also the quality of the person is going to be, you're going to be more vetted as a person who doesn't care about money. You're not supposed to care about money. Like, we're dangerously close to thinking that you're supposed to care about money, and that's what makes the world good and the economy good. You're not. You're supposed to care about being a contributing person for the whole world, And if everybody cares about money, it's kind of like everybody's their own, we're all fighting each other. So I saw somebody did a video, I guess a right wing or whatever, some lady, Chinese lady, because I wanted to see what somebody else thought. And I didn't see I only saw a couple of minutes of the video, but at the very beginning she said that he had a website with his policies. Maybe I should look up the website right now, because I didn't look it up. Cenk Uygur for president. Axios, Spectrum Local, Guardian. Uh-oh, I can't find it, dude. Are you fucking kidding me? Home page. Oh, here we are. Cenk for America. Okay, Cenk for America. So, policy, here we are. So he has 5 points for policy, and that's the website, right? Time off for parents, higher wages, affordable health insurance, fight corruption, allow Medicare to negotiate drug prices. So, and that's what people do, right? You run for president, you make a website that you could build like this. I could build this in 2 minutes. And then if you lose the presidential race, then you take the website down. So what I propose is that if you want to run for president, you have to be presidential material, meaning you have to have your policies up there on your personal website, not only when you're running for president, but you have to have them up there all the time. And so I came up with an idea of how to have your policies up there. because I just so happened to also all just about be ready to put the law code up. So what you do is you do the law code up, and then next to each and every law in red or whatever color, and Romans would write in purple and red. I think red maybe for war and purple for something. So yeah, like red, like a teacher fixing it. In red, you write what you would have the law. And then when you're done with the whole law code, yeah, you have like a number of how many laws you would change in front of each law. And so people could actually access it, your exact idea about law. And then only until when you've done that would you run for president. And because I did it, and I'm not even planning on running for president, if I run for president, it would be, I would have to be at least like 80 years old before I even do it. Or maybe 90, because I have too many other things that I want to do. But if I ran for president, I wouldn't think about running for president until I built that first. And then when I actually do run for president, I'd have it online, and then I would like look through it, you know. And then when you do videos talking about your policies, and then the numbers, and you would completely ignore whoever you're talking about, like they don't even exist. You don't care. Because it's not up to you if you become president. It's up to the people who vote. So you go, this is me. And then you could talk about the other person's policies, you know, if you want to. But yeah, so that's what I think I'm going to do after this project. If it's not too, yeah, we'll see how that works. And then on top of that, you would provide links to, and I have the advantage because I have a website that has all that, to the exact place where all of the historians from the past agree with you. And then if you can find like so-and-so number, you would say, and I have agreements from 5 different people, 7 different times from 5 different people. Boom, from history. And then when you run for president, you go, like when you go to the debate and the person tries to talk trash about you, go, well, you don't barely even have to talk to her. You go, hey, just look at the website. Like, this dude doesn't even have a website. You want to vote for him? Go ahead. I don't care. So, anyways, yeah, and that could give other people who want to run for president the idea to actually do it. The problem is that you know, I guess it would take a lot of time. I don't know how long. I'll report as how long it takes, but people who are running for president. Maybe, you know, they've got kids and other lives, and maybe they don't realize. So then that would help the society give an opportunity to people who actually do want to become president and don't do anything else because they only want to become president. And allow somebody who's like not married to become president, like because they never got married because they never had the time because they're always working on policy, you know. Not have some stupid rule that you have to be like them, you know, stupid like them, married like them, because it gets you, because that's why people like Trump, because he talks like them. So, so that's one idea that I had, and then I had another idea. Can't remember. But I did have another idea of something that I wanted to do on my site. But anyways, yeah, so I'm going to try to finish this thing. Oh, I finally busted through the 2 Audible books I was behind on. A book about AI, which was he was just philosophizing about. But yeah, he did have some cool stories about how it had beat people. It beat like humans at a few insurance assessments, a few things. I need to remember. I think I made a link to it, a bookmark to it. But then I finished. My brain is not working right now. Another book. And right now I'm finishing a book. Yeah, the other book that was my credit from the last month. Anyway, Bitcoin. It was about blockchain. Yeah. And then today I'm working on a book on Audible about the history of Rome that I got for free. And then I found like 5 books. That girl talking about money, Socote Sanchez, I found 5 of them that were for free. And they're like, so, she calls them, those money people, they call them money books. They're self-help books. So anyways, I want to read them. And I guess one of them had like a podcast. Maybe it was Ray Dalio. I'll look at that a little bit. But there's so much interesting stuff, like with ancient aliens, ancient technology, like mystery history. That's the channel, and they came out with a new one today about like 2 hours ago. Mind blowing evidence pre-flood global civilization. So I'm gonna keep watching these dudes get caught up. But the problem is like it gives me the idea to want to build it on Google Earth, and I don't have the time. Like, I think there's a new town, there's a new like kingdom they found in the Yucatan, and I need to look into that because you could see the cap with lidar, the capital city, and then the big ass roads that go out like a spider web to all the other capital cities, and then um, oh my god, my brain. That 10,000-year-old one in Turkey was part of a kingdom that was 100 meters miles wide, and it was in the middle. So you could make a kingdom out of that. And yeah, so that's what I'm eventually going to do. Because you can make kingdoms out of the Amazon. People think that the Amazon 1,500 years ago, or 1,500, was just a bunch of like tribes, isolated tribes, like it is now. But those tribes are only isolated because those are the ones that are remaining, who are the ones hidden, because civilization has taken over the whole Amazon. But back in 1500, the Amazon, people traveled around a lot more. You could get around on the boats on the rivers, and then which was like all over the place, and they even had like through the trees, and there were kingdoms, like Francisco de Orellana. I read his book twice. The kingdoms. I have it on my Audible. The kingdoms. I think I'm going to put that book on my website. But yeah, he was mentioning some kingdoms and the exact size of the kingdom, like the territory, and it was huge. It was like as big as like a European kingdom. And then there was the kingdom of the Amazons, which was another big kingdom. And he said guys would travel all the way across the Amazon to meet the Amazons, like 3,000 miles. People would do pilgrimages because they wanted to make babies with the Amazons. So yeah, I wanted to reread that book and recreate the kingdoms there, and then utilize the LiDAR that they found of the new places in the Amazon and see if I could attach it to one of the kingdoms he was talking about. And by the time I get around to that, they'll have so much more on YouTube and on the internet that I could, like, with images and stuff. And because I don't know where any of those are. If you know where any of those are in the Amazon. I know where that wall is because it showed up when I Googled it. They found a 1 mile long, 50-foot high wall with like all the stories of ancient world with the giant sloth and everything. Like recently, like they're finding all this stuff. So Forrest Galante was on I didn't watch the whole thing, just a little bit on Joe Rogan, and he was saying where he thinks where the giant sloths are. And he goes, yeah, I think it's like a bowl of mountains on the eastern side of the Andes in Ecuador. And I was like, I'm good at Google Earth. So I'm like, oh yeah, a bowl of mountains on the eastern side of the Andes in Ecuador. So I went there. Sure enough, I found a 40-mile wide bowl of mountains on the eastern side of Ecuador. So I'm like, all right, that's where the sloths are, and I'll put sloths in there. Google or sloth, find out how many there are. Decide in my own how many there are, and then their whole range, and see how they could live in there and just stick in there and not be found by humans. Just imagine it, how that could be. That's an animal that we'll bring back and throw back in the Amazon pretty soon. So, anyways, if we don't find him, but I want to research the stories of the people who talk about him. I do have a lot of tales on my website, myths, and I think some of them are the sloth, but I haven't collected all of it. I want to read that because it's so amazing to hear a story that is from 10,000 years ago, and it's a story, and to have proof and experience like an actual word of mouth that's that long, and it doesn't make sense because we have this tale. It's pretty much word of mouth. could be word of mouth of Jesus, and that was 2,000, so it's only 5,000, 5 times more. So it'd still be, maybe be, you know, and it would be diluted, kind of like it is now. So yeah, it's fun to look at that stuff like it's history. So anyway, but I don't know. This Roman book is really good. Oh, it's on my phone. Yeah, he's telling some lots of interesting, cool stories that I want to then refine and then plug in. There's this new idea of historical interpretation that I came up with that I'm going to throw on my website as a page, as a new project. And that is understanding history through imagining the scenario first, and then you find in history where it happens. Because if you're well read enough, or if you're with a, or if we're all put our heads together and we look for it, and then somebody goes, "Oh, you were looking." You go through the list. You go, "I'm looking for this." You go, "Oh, you're looking for that story. Here it is," because there's enough history that you could find an example of whatever scenario in your head you can think about. Father killing a son in war. You know, just random things too. A dude had a subcutaneous fatty lipoma and accidentally got cut out in war. And that's how he realized how to get rid of it, and he was happy about that. When the ancient Romans, like the slave found their master in bed with somebody else, they were allowed to tie their master to the bed and go get the cops. The ancient Scythians would smoke weed, would do weed saunas. And then there was a consul who was 2 feet tall. There were Roman generals, a husband and a wife, who were 8 feet tall, who were then embalmed and put in Scipio's museum house. Just all this random, you know, cool stories. There were a bunch of them, like elephants running wild in Rome for a while after the Punic War. Yeah, and there was this one interesting thing that I heard today. What was it? Anyway, so, but anyway, so what you do is you create in your head like a ridiculous situation, like the most ridiculous scenario, you know, like where the whole town is tripping acid and they go crazy and they blame one person or a couple people, so they hang them up and kill them from the little thing. That actually happened in a German city in the 1600s. Their bread all got molded and they ate moldy bread and the whole town went crazy. But anyway, so you come up with the scenarios and then you could plug them in, and then whenever you hear a ridiculous scenario, you throw it into the crazy scenario, you know, area, and yeah, so because a lot of times you would only have like one example, you know, like the scenario where a famous politician was supposed to show up one day, but then he didn't because he was just dead in his bed, even though there was nothing wrong with him. That happened to Scipio. And so they suspected his wife poisoning him, because how else would somebody bust in? You can't just kill somebody in your bed when you're sleeping without injury, because when you bust down their door, they'll hear you. Then they'll get their sword right next to their bed, and there'll at least be a fight. There's this one woman, the girlfriend of the wife of Odoacer, didn't like him. One of the tribes who took Rome in the 480s. She invited his friends who didn't like him or whatever to come in and storm his hut and kill him. And she tied his sword to his bed, so when he grabbed it, it wasn't there, and that's how they got him. So, anyways, just random stories. But that's a way that you could do history. You create the ridiculous situations first, and then fill them in with actual stories. But anyways, so that's enough talking. Yeah, I'm back to on my own schedule. It's kind of cuts into my progress a little bit when I have to, you know, follow somebody else's schedule, because I have to sleep, because I don't have energy anymore to just be up all night and then go and do work. So, but this is just something I do once every 6 months. And I need the exercise. Like my hip here, where the femur goes into the ball, it's throbbing pain all the time. When I walk, it hurts. It's like I need a new hip pretty soon, just from sitting here on this bed, cutting off the circulation, or on this couch. So, yeah, so that's why at the beginning of the video, I'm like, oh man, I don't know. I don't want to, I hate exercise if it's for maintenance. It drives me crazy. I can't do it because it just seems like a waste of time. The only way I can exercise I'm like doing it every day, and I'm like keeping track of my like levels and getting better every day. You know what I mean? I'm planning on doing it all the time. So I think I might have to just start hanging out and like laying on my bed and stuff. But anyways, yeah, yeah. I'm glad that I'm listening to this stuff. There was a while where I was just listening to music, but now I'm finally listening to blasting through books. Um, and yeah, and I need to do some on my website too. Like when I hear books and they say interesting things, or I see these videos and they say so and so said, I want to get the book, and I want to read Philostratus, the Emerald Tablet, Wikipedia, the Pelasgians, Turing Machine, Utilitarianism, you know, all this stuff open. Anyways, yeah, okay. So I am probably, hopefully 5 more days or whatever, 6 more days, less than a week, and then I'll start. But then I'll have it open for download. Google Earth, I think they had on the cell phone an upgrade recently, which made it better, cool, where you can see stuff. You can download individual things on Google Earth phone now. Like I knew that they were going to be able to do that eventually. Back when I was doing this, and I don't even have Google Earth stuff for download individually yet on my website, and freaking the phone's already ready for it. So like I can't even keep up with technology. So because I was looking at the Coliseum, I mean the Circus Maximus on Google Earth on my phone today, and it was working awesome. And so yeah, so I might want to, when I'm done with this, before I do the law code, I might want to like do more Google Earth, fix more Google Earth links, or at least make sure all the big ones are downloadable. So, but yeah, there's so much Google Earth stuff that I have to do, like Atlantis. I never did the. Plato said there were 100,000 lots on Atlantis, so I think I could build 100,000 lots. You just build like roads of not canals. I was thinking canals, but maybe you do roads and canals. I don't know. Roads across, and then the little boxes created by all the roads would make the lots. Because 1,000 or 100,000, I can't remember, but that would take a long time to build on that island. But I just want to do it as much as Plato said, you know. Anyways, that's enough talking. Yeah, I think hopefully I'll work all night, and next time when I do the video, maybe tomorrow morning before I even get to sleep, and I'll show, and I'll be a lot more ahead. And you can actually see how much progress I can make in an exact time, because I showed when I was talking that I didn't stop working, and then I showed again, because I was sleeping today. Anyways, talk to you tomorrow.